Hey friends, it's Wendy Pope with something to think about. I'm reading through the chronological Bible again this year, and we've just surpassed the place where the Israelites, led by Joshua, Moses has passed away, and he appointed, with God's approval, Moses appointed Joshua as the leader, and they're at the place now where they're getting ready to go into the promised land. And Joshua's feeling a little bit nervous and a little bit anxious. And over in Joshua 1, God sensed this. He didn't have to hear it from Joshua. Joshua doesn't say, Lord, I'm nervous. But God knows us intimately, and he knows Joshua's nervous. And he says, be courageous, be strong. And he encourages him over in 1:8 to meditate on the book, meditate on the words of the book of instruction day and night, and all will be successful with you, he tells them. So he gives them this great pep talk. So what happens over now in Joshua 3, where we're going to take our thought for today, is Joshua is giving a pep talk and giving instructions to the people of Israel as they face the River Jordan. Now, the River Jordan doesn't always run at flood stages, but wouldn't you know it, when they're getting ready to cross it, it would be at flood stage time. Now, there's a whole nother message there in that little scripture about it being at flood stages, but we don't have time to go into that today. But they face this flood-staged Jordan River. And these are not the people that crossed the Red Sea. Those are all past now. This is a whole different generation. So Joshua, being their leader, sensed, let's give them instructions. Let's give them a pep talk. And he says over in, let me get my Bible, in Joshua 3, we're in Joshua 3, he says, to make sure that he says early in the morning. And isn't it interesting that God does so many great things early in the morning, and so many of us don't even like early in the morning, but I've learned to like that. That's another message. Anyways, let's look over at Joshua 3:5. He says, purify yourself. Now, depending on what translation you're reading, it might say consecrate, it might say set yourself apart, but purify yourself, for tomorrow the Lord will do great wonders among you. Let's think about this. What would happen, or how different would our day be if we purified ourselves each night? We talk about having quiet times in the morning. We talk about meeting with the Lord each morning and setting our hearts right before God each morning. What would our day be like if we consecrated ourselves, set ourselves apart, spent time with God each evening, and then waited the next day to see what great wonders that the Lord will do among us? The Lord's always doing great wonders, friend. He's always doing them. But you know what? I tend to think I miss a lot of them because I'm too busy. And maybe God is calling us to be women and men who consecrate themselves, who set themselves apart at night, in the evening. Maybe there's a show that we shouldn't be watching. Maybe it's a book we're reading that we need to lay down. Maybe it's a relationship with our child that we need to spend more time with, and apart from some games that we play on Facebook or on our phone. Maybe we need to be concentrating on a relationship, a more intimate, and I don't mean intimate as in sexual, I just mean a more intimacy relationship, develop intimacy with our husbands. Maybe that's what we need to be concentrating and putting our computers down. So in my journal, I said, how would you have me consecrate myself, Lord? How would you have me each evening to set myself apart so that when I wake up the next day, I will be able to participate and I will be able to bear witness to the amazing wonders that you are going to do among me. Now that, my friend, is something to think about.